What's good? What's the word? Go to these comments real quick. What did I do with the remote? My bad, y'all. I was trying to make sure I had one rolled already. Oh, here we go. Let me adjust my camera. Uh, uh, uh. There we go. How y'all feeling? Happy Saturday. Let me change the color on my mic too. There we go. Y'all hear me all right? Just want to make sure before I jump into this live stream. Listen, okay, cool. We'll let more people chime in, pull up. I had to make sure I had one rolled. You know, can hop on here without my handy dandy. You know, I'm gonna get to that in a minute though. I'm trying to get my shit organized. There we go. Uh, Damn, I can't believe it's almost October. Tomorrow, I have no idea where 2023 has gone. This shit was just a blur, but a lot of beautiful things have happened this year. I really can't complain. I mean, to be fair, outside of my pops passing, a lot of good things have come out of. I'm not gonna say that situation directly, but a lot of things have been coming together, man. I really can't complain about this year. Shit, we live streaming. We got the podcast rolling. I'm actually building out a team for that now. I had see, y'all getting all the exclusive information first. I had a company reach out to me, like a tech software company, and apparently they help fund content creators, and they partner with them and help them start and scale sustainable businesses. Now that could be, I've seen influencers that had coffee companies, recipes, I think online tutoring, so on and so forth. My business that I want to take to the next level is going to be the podcast for sure. Um, got some good traction going. The views are going up. The account is growing on Instagram, thanks to you. I appreciate y'all for that, and I'm happy that you guys have been so receptive because this is off the cuff for me. This is something new, but this is the most consistent I have ever been in my life at something, and you know, it's just it blows my mind. Because 2-3 years ago, there's no fucking way I would do a podcast. There's no way I would do live streaming like this. You know what I mean? So we make some progress, man. We growing up. No, it is. It has definitely been a blur. What time is it? All right, I was waiting on some other people to roll in, but shit, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We got to talk about this Tupac Shakur situation because after 27 years, they finally pieced. After 27 years, they finally pieced together. I mean, solved the case damn near. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Vlad TV, I mean, Vlad from Vlad TV, he is saying that he single handedly solved the mystery. But then I just watched this YouTuber's video earlier saying that the mystery had pretty much been solved in 2002 based on some leaks and some information, some informants, some inside sources. I don't know who to believe. All I know is that that man Keefe D. I know, yeah. Hold on, let me pull this comment up. Yeah, I'm gonna say the same, but I will say this. Okay, Keefe D. If you don't know who Keefe D is, Keefe D is the uncle of the guy Orlando Anderson, who was a member of the Southside Crips, Southside Compton Crips, who apparently shot and killed Tupac, allegedly. Okay. This information supposedly has been known for 27 years. But Keefe D has been getting online, doing these interviews. He wrote a book. He has a whole memoir detailing what happened. And what's interesting is that he came out with his memoir maybe what? When was that? Did the memoir come out 2018? But it was a tell-all. Unfortunately, he got cancer, so he felt like he didn't want to hold back anymore. So he said, look, I can't take this to the grave with me. I'm going to put y'all on game. This is what happened. I was there. I was in the car. And this shit just blows my mind. Now, what's interesting about this, and I'm going to play this video in a second. What's interesting about this is the fact that the vast majority of people always thought this was part of some type of conspiracy. And it could be. I don't know. Say the government wanted to get rid of Tupac. FBI wanted to get rid of Tupac. There are signs that lead there. But I can't confirm. I don't know if you can confirm. I don't know who to believe. But anyway, we got to check out this video. Las Vegas law enforcement are covering the case. Hold on. Let me bring this up real quick. Switch my background. Bam. Wait. Yep, here we go. Bang. This shit might blow your mind if you haven't seen this already. Y'all ready for this? Here we go.
Murder update. All right, folks, we are going out right now to Las Vegas. The update on the Tupac Shakur murder update. Let's listen.
This afternoon. 27 years. 27 years. For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, a.k.a. Keefe D., for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It is far from over. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our homicide section to get to where we are today. Several of those detectives that are standing.
Y'all had to stop this real quick. I want to put this into perspective. Keefe D is 60 years old now. We're talking 27 something years ago. He is going to jail pretty much as a senior citizen. Hold on, my dog hit me up. Hold on. I'm on. Hold on, read these comments real quick. But he's so sick, they throw everything at this man near the end. I know. DC, hold on. Hold on. I'm about to bring my dog on here. Hold up. Let me send this message to my homie real quick. He's joining the live. If you know him, My boy DC. Hold on. I bet. So he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. That has to suck. You have cancer. You supposed to be the OG, man. You supposed to be the one that's talking positivity now. Like, apparently, he was selling like paraphernalia. I think it was either from the scene or it was something I saw. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm gonna have to find the video to show you guys. But he was selling some type of, I think it was shell casings or bullets or something that was at the scene of the crime. That's like a low key flex. He was probably auctioning that shit off and get some cash from it because he's been saying the same thing for some time now, and his stories has pretty much been consistent. And I'm trying to figure out how to put these pieces together. But let me go back into this, yo. Let me go back into that.
Standing here with us include Detective Cliff Mogg, the lead detective on this case. He is now retired. While I know there's been many people who did not believe that the murder of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department, I'm here to tell you that was simply not the case.
We don't see about Diddy.
It was not the case back then, and it is not the case today. Our goal at LVMPD has always been to hold those accountable and responsible for Tupac's violent murder accountable. Just like we do for every homicide victim in our city. Every single victim, every life that is lost is important and remains a priority for this police department.
You might as well.
As we methodically built this case to move forward with an arrest, it was also important that at the same time, we're building towards a successful prosecution. We work closely with our esteemed district attorney, Steve Wolfson, in his office to ensure that is going to happen. Mr. Davis's own words reinvigorated our case.
Hold on. Let's okay. His own words. His own words. Okay, there's a point to be made about this. Because this is what I've noticed. And I'm not throwing any shade, because if you want to come out and talk about your stories and your truth and what happened, so be it. There's consequences across the board. Now, what I've noticed in the last 4 or 5 years or so, you're getting a lot of these OGs hopping on these platforms. Vlad, Say Cheese, what's the other one? No Jumper. These are huge platforms, especially in the hip hop space. It's a fine line between telling your story and then also revealing some shit that should probably be under wraps. Like it's some information you should die with, especially if you was doing dirt back in the day. And if you're talking about murder cases, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, but from my understanding, murder cases, I mean, obviously they're closed, right? But they can be reopened. I think this has been an open case this entire time because they've been trying to put the pieces together. But once you get some substantial information, they can reopen a case because they want to get the culprit. This is not like any other situation where you can't be tried 2 or 3 times over. I really think that there are more people involved. I do too, to be fair. I'm trying to get, like, I'm 31. Tupac and Biggie have been labeled as martyrs in hip hop since I could remember, since I was a kid. You know, these guys have been considered legendary this entire time. Both of them went out the same way, and both of the cases were unsolved. Now, I'm wondering if this is going to unravel anything that has to do with Biggie's case. Because wouldn't that be some shit? Just why after 27 years, though? I'm just trying to figure that out. But let's go back to this press conference, though.
I'm going to give you some of those details, and I'm going to introduce to you our homicide lieutenant, Jason Johansson, and he will provide you many of the details on how we got here today.
Please oblige us.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. My name is Jason Johansson, and I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And my goal here today is to walk you through our investigation and what led us to the indictment of Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur. This case has been reviewed by our homicide team and homicide detectives for over 2.5 decades. And ultimately, our persistence in this investigation has paid off. Let me walk you through a timeline of events that as we know them right now. Prior to September 7th of 1996, as we all know, Tupac Shakur was an artist who was signed with Death Row Records. And that Death Row Records and its CEO, Marion Suge Knight, were closely affiliated with street gangs, and that they had an ongoing feud with the Southside Compton Crips. Dwayne Davis was the leader and shot caller.
Now, my question for you guys in the comments, let me know what you think. I should bring this video up of this other YouTuber that I watch. His name is Seti Nash. And he was going over this article today. And this article had this really interesting point in it. It mentioned that, and I'm just quoting what it says in the article. I don't know how reliable this article is, but here we go. It mentioned that Biggie Smalls put up $1 million and provided the murder weapon for the Southside Compton Crips to use for the Tupac hit. Now, I just don't want to say this all openly because it's not the information that I broke or I covered. But Seti Nash does his due diligence. So after, I probably won't watch this whole video. It's kind of long, it's like 17 minutes, and you get the gist of it. But I do want to bring up the Seti Nash video. I just got to figure out which part I left off on, because he was pinpointing a lot of good, it was a lot of good points that I never heard of this. I literally never heard of a vast majority of the shit he was talking about. The OGs of the game telling their stories for money. That's a gift and a curse now. That is really a gift and a curse, because it seems that situations like that tend to come back and bite you in the ass. There's some guy, what is his name? It's some guy, he was a gangster in Detroit. His last name is like Boone or something. Big swole dude, bald. I think he did interviews with Vlad, and he may have done interviews with Say Cheese and what's the one guy's name? Al Prophet. You don't know Al Prophet? Al Prophet is based out here. White guy. I think he might be Italian or something. But anyways, that guy admitted to having 30 bodies, and he's talking about this shit in interviews. Now, that just blows my mind how you can just openly talk about how many people you have, you know what I'm saying? How many people you didn't crossed out. And just in casual conversation, and be so casual to where you can be on camera and you're not bragging about it. You're literally just talking about what happened, but it garners all these views because it's the shock factor at the end of the day. When Sammy the Bull first got out and he did his Vlad TV interview, that shit blew my mind as well, because apparently he had 19 bodies. And he's sitting there talking about how he stood over a guy, how he felt bad about it, how he had nightmares. The other guy that was part of the let me see. He was this one guy, John A-Light. He was an enforcer for John Gotti. His interviews blew my fucking mind. Now these dudes, these are OGs that were running around in the 70s and the 80s, like just ruthless. Blows my mind. He was the driver, not the actual shooter. The shooter's already deceased. Yeah. No, I'm aware. I'm aware of that situation. It just it blows my mind that Keefe D can recount what happened thoroughly and be like, yeah, Baby Lane leaned over the seat, had Tupac in his sights, and they popped him. And then he's talking about, I saw this clip, Keefe D was talking about when my man was shooting out the window, he seen the bullet hit Suge Knight in the head. He said he thought he was gone. It's like, I don't know. Is it an inside job?
Of the Southside Compton Crips. And both of these gangs operated out of the Southern California area of Compton. On the night of September 7th of 1996, Tupac Shakur, along with Suge Knight, and members of their entourage, which include members of Mob Piru,
CJ,
came to Vegas to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Look, I got you.
Members of the Southside Compton Crips, which included Dwayne Davis, along with his nephew Orlando Anderson, were also in attendance at the same event. As both were leaving the fight, members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM, and at that time they began to kick and punch him near that elevator bank. I will now show you hotel security footage, as many of you have already seen, related to this incident.
The nostalgia behind
and on this incident, you will see Tupac Shakur, who's wearing a shiny satiny shirt, along with Marion Suge Knight, who's a large man in a brown suit, punching and kicking Orlando Anderson.
Yep, so you see these guys right here. I think that's
following this incident,
Tupac?
You'll see hotel security intervene.
No, it might be
and
Tupac.
Then they will leave the area of the fight.
There you go, right there.
Little did anyone know that it is this incident right here that would ultimately lead to the retaliatory shooting and death of Tupac Shakur. Following this incident, Tupac and Suge Knight both left the MGM.
People reporting this could also be the same
to make their way to a post-fight party, which was to occur at a local nightclub.
It amazes me that people reporting this.
At the same time, word had spread amongst members of the Southside Compton Crips of what had occurred inside the MGM.
No, that's interesting.
And then that's when,
and it could be true,
Dwayne Davis began to devise a plan to obtain a firearm and retaliate against Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur for what occurred inside the hotel against Mr. Anderson. After Davis obtained a gun, he entered into a white Cadillac along with Terrence Brown, DeAndre Smith, and Orlando Anderson. Based on our investigation, this is where we know they were seated.
Whoa, hold on. Let me blow this up. I have never seen this before. Obviously, these pictures are old. These pictures are old as shit. Out of all the documentaries I've seen, the evidence, not that I, dove into the case on my own or anything. It's just like videos I watched. I've never seen the placement of where everybody was sitting in the vehicle. So this is interesting. Let me blow this shit up real quick. So you got okay, so Keefe D is sitting on the passenger side, up front. Wow, all these guys are deceased, except him. It makes it even more interesting. Okay, so Keefe D is up front. This is the supposed shooter right here, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson. This is blowing my mind because I feel like I'm learning. This is new information for me. I thought I knew some shit. I thought I watched all the Tupac conspiracy videos, and I don't know how I missed this, but that's neither here or there. Whatever. Let me get back to it.
At some point in time, as they were in the white Cadillac, Mr. Davis took the gun that he had obtained and provided it to the passengers
so he passes
in the
it
rear
in the
seat
back.
of the vehicle. as they were driving west on Flamingo Road near Koval. They located the black BMW, which was driven by Suge Knight, and then the passenger seat was Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
And as they turned around, they pulled up near the passenger side of that vehicle and immediately began shooting at Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur. Following that shooting, the white Cadillac fled the area southbound on Koval. And after our officers arrived on scene, Tupac.
Man, this picture is creepy. This is creepy. This is crazy. Right before my man lost his life.
Tupac was later transported to the University Medical Center, where he was treated medically and died approximately 6 days later on September 13th. My homicide section handled this investigation from its onset and for a short amount of time. And within a short amount of time, what we knew was that we were working a gang investigation where our victims, our witnesses, and our suspects were all from Southern California and not local to Las Vegas. Within the first few months of the investigation, our detectives knew most of the information I just briefed you on. However, we never had the necessary evidence to bring this case forward and present it for criminal charges.
If it wasn't for Keefy D.
As time went on, this case had been reviewed multiple times by different investigators assigned to my section, but it wasn't until 2018 that this case was reinvigorated.
Okay, 2018. I said this earlier. You're going to see why. Hold on.
As additional information came to light related to this homicide. Specifically, Dwayne Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets. In our section, we knew at this time that this was likely our last time to take a run at this case to successfully solve this case and bring forth a criminal charge. It was at that time that this case was assigned to Cliff Mogg, a detective within my homicide section. And over the last 5 years, my section worked closely
I'm so interested
hand in
to
hand
hear
with the Clark County District Attorney's Office and followed a systematic investigative plan over the last 5 years. We've conducted countless interviews and corroborated numerous facts that were not only consistent with the crime.
All right. So with the interviews, that's what I'm really interested to find out. Because in the video with the YouTuber Seti Nash that I was just telling you about, he mentioned that there were interviews that had taken place as well. But he said there were interviews from, I believe he said there was interviews from some of the Southside Compton Crip side. I don't know. I don't know if my man is gonna actually. I mean, since this is an open case, he's probably not gonna reveal who those interviews came from. We'll probably figure this out when it actually goes to trial. But I'm really interested to see. This is I typically don't tune into cases like this that are ongoing, but since I'm streaming and this is something, from our childhood. Like if you know. I think I want to follow it. Because who would have thought? Whoever would have thought?
I'm seen on the night of the incident, but also corroborated and were consistent with the sequence of events that night. This ultimately led to us procuring a search warrant which was executed at Mr. Davis's residence in Henderson, Nevada. And following the execution of that search warrant, in close coordination with the District Attorney's Office, this case was presented to the grand jury.
Wow.
Which ultimately led to Davis being indicted on charges of murder.
Tupac, hold on, let me read this comment. Tupac and Biggie were going to leave their labels, and they both were taken out the same way. Like, and I understand that, And I've heard that numerous times, but does that change anything now? I'm just asking because my whole perspective on this has changed. I don't know what to believe anymore because although they were taken out the same way, does that then mean that they're directly related? Can we literally say the situation that happened with Tupac has something was like directly linked to what happened to Biggie right after that? That's what I'm saying. That's what's confusing to me. And I don't know. Hopefully this can shed some light. This situation can shed some light on that one so we can start connecting the dots as well. But 27 years, look, the universe be universing. I don't know what the hell 2023 got going on. This has been an interesting year all the way around, man. I just got to throw my hands up. I don't even know what to expect anymore. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it to 2024. That's all I can say. Between the aliens, the Tupac situation, what else? It's just been so much. I don't know where to start.
Before I hand it off to the district attorney's office, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Detective Mogg and all the other detectives that were not only assigned this case and reviewed this case, but all the other detectives from other agencies that assisted us in this investigation. They know who they are, and thank you very much for all the assistance you provided.
Yep, thank you. Thank you very much.
And lastly, one of the most important things, in my opinion, is we need to make this be a reminder that the charge of murder does not have a statute of limitations. This agency has been and is invested in solving our cold case homicides so that we can bring closure to those families and justice for those victims of homicide. And with that, I will turn it over to the Clark County District Attorney, Steve Wilson.
I am really interested to hear what Steve Wilson has to say.
Thank you, Lieutenant Johansson. I appreciate it. Good afternoon. I am the Las Vegas, Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson. It has often been said,
I thought it was Wilson, my bad.
Delayed is justice denied. It's a quote we hear often and for many, many years when talking about our legal system, but not in this case. Today, justice will be served in the murder of Tupac Shakur. I'd like to acknowledge the relentless work of the many Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department homicide detectives.
Oh, we know that's going to happen.
Mentioned Detective Cliff Mogg many times, and we can't mention his name enough. He is the detective, along with his colleagues, that brought this case here today to you. A Clark County grand jury has indicted Dwayne Keith Davis with 1 count of open murder with use of a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement. Davis will appear in court in the next few days or so for a hearing to determine his custody status and to set a jury trial date.
Bro, you're supposed to be somewhere on a boat.
This grand jury has been receiving evidence for months and has determined there is sufficient evidence to justify the filing of this criminal indictment. I've assigned 2 of my top prosecutors, Mark DiGiacomo and Banu Palal, to prosecute this case.
Hey, y'all catch that name? DiGiacomo? That's a name right there, boy. DiGiacomo.
I know a lot of people have been watching and waiting for this day. Tupac Shakur is a music legend, and for a long time, this community and worldwide have been wanting justice for Tupac. Today, we are taking that first step. Tupac was actually quoted as saying, "Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive. Never surrender." Well, we didn't surrender thanks to the great work of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department under the leadership of Sheriff Kevin McMahill, Lieutenant Johansson, retired Detective Cliff Mogg. I am proud to announce the return of this document. This is the indictment we've been waiting almost 3 decades for. It spells out the facts and circumstances and what justifies a Clark County grand jury in returning an indictment. Justice will be served. Thank you.
All right, look, I'm going to go ahead and cut that short. Wolfson said what he said. Keefe D is checked out. Damn. I don't even know what to say. Kind of blows my mind. What I will say, though, did y'all catch Brittany Renner on Club Shay Shay? I almost forgot to put this on my list of things to cover. And I've been seeing these clips popping up on my feed all week. Maybe you have too. One of those clips, and I'm sure you'll see it because I'll bring it up. In one of these clips, Brittany Renner tells Shannon Sharpe that she has 35 bodies. Now, as a grown adult, I don't understand the body count thing. I just think after a certain age, especially in your 30s, all that shit goes out the window. Like, does it really matter? That's just me. Look, for people that are counting, I think it's weird that you count like that. How many people you slept with, but do you think? It's just more or less. All right, fellas. You meet a woman, like you're new to a city, you meet a woman, has a reputation, but you don't know she has a reputation, but she's into you. Maybe she's done. Maybe she's chalking it up. She ain't for the streets anymore. If she's showing you the type of affection, the love, the support that you need, and you just so happen to find out that she has 40 bodies, would that be the determining factor whether you deal with her? Especially if you're so far in. Like, when it starts to boil down to things like that, real life situations, I don't know, man. I just think people got to grow up. But I don't want to just keep talking about the situation. Let me find this video for you real quick because I got to bring this up. Let me see. Brittany. Wow. I got to give it to her, yo. She's always trending. She finds a way to keep herself trending. And now, I'm not going to dog her out. I don't know her personally, you know what I'm saying? But I see the internet be shitting on her. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with what she does, but as far as keeping herself relevant, yo, she's on a show with Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is an ex-football player, Hall of Famer, talk show host, podcaster now. Why is she on the show in the first place? I don't know. I think it's interesting how a lot of the analysts and spokespersons from the sports world, they have podcasts now, but then they start to integrate pop culture because it's like when it's curated and you're on ESPN, you're on an actual network, all right, you know everything is going to be sports driven. But when you don't have that background, I mean, like when you go off on your own and then that's all you're talking about, the sports thing, it kind of gets old. So I see Stephen A switching it up. I see Shannon Sharpe switching it up, diving into trending topics, pop culture. Looks like a little bit of gossip. Still keeping the element of talking about sports, football, basketball. But they had to switch it up. Hold on. I think I found it. This is 10. Okay, it's a 10-minute video. All right. Oh, this is Anton. Hold on. actually go to the whole thing. Whoa. Hold on. It starts off like this. She says her off the bat. And what's crazy, dudes that have never met this woman have something to say about her. But it's like, bro, you probably wouldn't get a chance with her anyway. So all the spectators that are on the sideline, it don't even matter.
35 guys. Okay.
He took his shots.
Woo. Oh Lord.
Impressive isn't the word. So if I'm judged for
Anybody else need a shot of this?
if I'm judged for having great taste.
We are in the bar.
Hey, all right. I had to show you that first little bit. We're going to keep going through it. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because I don't think that's a big deal. That's just me though. The fucking numbers game as an adult is crazy to me in the first place. But then she says she has good taste. Now, that's subjective. That is very subjective.
Also, help yourself. We got this for the next hour. Woo.
All my life, been grinding on.
I'll skip ahead. Don't want to get copyrighted.
Looked over, and it wasn't really until I got to high school where I kind of got like a little shape.
Right.
It's like attention for the wrong reason.
Right.
So
you grew into this body.
Yes, but it still, even in high school, still wasn't like a super focal point. It wasn't probably until.
Hey Shannon, you doing what I think you doing? Y'all think Shannon trying to shoot his shot on a little bit? I think Shannon might be trying to shoot his shot. I don't know. Ain't no telling how this went after the fact. When the cameras go off, we don't know.
Oh, more college, but I felt very invisible. So I think that's why for me, I've actually developed personality and social skills because I haven't been beautiful my entire life. So that's why, I consider myself the people's darling because I know how to talk to people. I can talk to anyone.
Right.
And that's what I did growing up.
So when did boys become prevalent, or when did you become interested in boys? Was this a high school thing, or was it when you got to college?
Hey, Shannon Sharpe turned into fucking Montel. He looked like he want to F around and find out. I'm convinced too. Hey, look, I got to make this point. I was watching DJ Academic stream last night, and he was covering this segment. And what he said, he hit it right on the fucking head. All right, she knows she has mass sex appeal. She has that allure, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the way she uses it with the podcast host, because a lot of these podcasts that she's going on, they're guys for the most part. There may be a group of guys, or in this situation, it's just Shannon Sharpe. But she can use that sex appeal and allure to kind of just lure the host in and like get the imagination going of what could happen, whether it happens or not. Like, I get it. Like, she knows what she's doing as far as using what she has to get what she wants. I'm not mad at that. I gotta give credit when credit's due. Like, I'm not applauding what she does as a whole, but I'm just saying, like, I understand. I get it.
I guess in what way, like dating or just like
yes,
interest?
dating, or when you like.
Skip ahead.
You're funny. Oh God, how did it happen?
Yes.
Fate.
Fate? What fate?
It was fate because it was literally kind of like in passing.
Right.
We saw one another, and I was just like, oh my gosh, she's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and that was kind of.
Ain't no brothers beat him to the punch.
There was a basketball player who had green eyes. He was cute. But
Basketball player.
he was
But you
he
gotta-
was fucking one of the other J sets. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot going on.
Right.
So
you and the
I tried a basketball player.
You and the quarterback.
Hey, she ran it up.
Y'all date how long?
Well, I do have to disclose that I was his side chick for 10 months while we were at school because he had a girlfriend back at home. I had zero respect for myself back then. So we dated for about.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Now, this is where she kind of loses me sometimes because she'll say she didn't have any self-respect back then, but it's like the way she moves now, I'm still trying to figure out where the gaining, like where did she gain respect along the way? You know what I mean? It's just not a personal attack on her. I don't know her. I just find this to be odd because you can't have it both ways. She's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I mean, look, she does what she does. And obviously, she's able to garner a lot of attention. Now, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. How can I say this? Because I know she's on Basketball Wives, too, this new season. And that's not some shit that I tune into or watch whatsoever. I mean, I don't watch that at all. I just don't watch reality TV. And it's not a show that I would ever check out. But obviously, she's using the leverage that she has to get on these platforms. And for the sake of understanding leverage and how to utilize it, I have to give her her props. But I still think this is the short-term gain right here overall. Because if you ask me, I think the reputation might be a little damaged. I mean, she's authentic. She's authentic. I have to give that to her as well. I think she could really take that traction and turn it into something and step out of this lane completely if she knew what she was doing, you know? Not saying that she doesn't. She might have some master plan that I don't know about, but shit, she on the show with Shannon Sharpe, man. Deion Sanders brought her to Jackson State to go talk to the college boys. How? I don't know. It was almost that shit blew my mind because Deion Sanders brought her to Jackson State to talk to his football team to pretty much let the guys know this is the type of woman that's out there that's kind of waiting on you to slip up. I mean, I understood the message because it's kind of predatory, but I mean, because these guys are young. These guys are 18, 19. I think she's my age. But the younger guys know she has clout. And they will try to attach themselves to her. And then they're feeding off each other's reputations. But I just don't see the longevity in that shit. You feel me?
I think.
So how did you find out that you were the
Oh, he
side
told
piece?
me.
Hold up. So he tells you that.
I mean, at the very beginning, he gave me the option. Again, telling the truth is an act of love.
And you was like, okay.
I was just like, at the time, I was like,
So how do you feel?
what's that got to do with me?
So obviously you didn't feel.
I'm
about
gonna
yourself
say
then
lifespan.
the way you feel about yourself
Absolutely.
now.
But I don't know.
Because I would never accept breadcrumbs. But then I was just, anything I can get.
Right.
Like crumbs off the
Right.
whatever, you know, that's how I was. Yeah.
Was that because the yearning for affection from your dad or something? Were you missing something?
I got to
that
get
you
down to the
willing
nitty gritty.
accept?
Hey, not too much.
No,
We know you a country boy.
I taught you fitness. He taught you how
Yeah,
to
so I had a big following.
Okay. So that's what you were going to be.
I didn't have a plan. I just came out here like, I'm beautiful, I'm young, I got all these followers, there's 2 other girls in the bunk beds that were all here. I don't know what we're chasing, but we're here.
Right.
Brand deals. Like, that's how I
Hey.
was getting money, was brand deals.
Right.
So
At least you're real
it's
about
like
this
you
shit.
I mean, I was 22 when I moved here.
Right.
So I was moving around, spending money, being able to do what I
Right.
wanted to do because I was getting money from brand deals.
When did
So
you?
that's how I was making my way.
Hey, I got to give her props when it comes to that because I remember seeing her out here on the scene. Shit, I would go to events for Fashion Nova and Boohoo Man, and I believe she was one of the early ones to get to that bag when it came to brand deals. she had it. That's what I can't take away from her. So she had the mass appeal for brands that wanted to, they wanted to showcase her. Fashion Nova was on it. This one, Fashion Nova, was fresh. They've been kind of diluted at this point because I think, no shade to Fashion Nova. I used to be an ambassador for them, but then they started to get cheap. They started to get a little cheap. It was trying to cheat you out of your pay. I will say that, but that's neither here or there. I just want to throw that in there.
When did you realize you was like that?
When I was like that? Oh boy. I don't even know what was like that aha moment, because I feel
like what?
Like I had a lot of access at a very young age,
right,
to people that I never thought would know my name.
Right.
So it was kind of like living in Disneyland. I'm like, oh my God, like I couldn't get enough. So I don't know, probably when I moved out to LA, just being 22, 23.
That makes sense.
And because Coach Prime, Coach Prime was a former coach at Jackson State. He had you
yeah, I was just talking about this.
And you said that I got more checks in my DM than Nike. So
that's a weird flex.
That's how it started. That's when you knew, like, damn, man, look at my inbox running over.
I mean, I think that was definitely a part of it. I think just being able to literally and figuratively skip the line and get paid to like stand in front of a movie poster and post it on your page. It was quick money. Like I don't know.
I can attest to that.
It was the money. It was the men. I mean, again, people
not
like
not
to
that though.
Like men, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I like my love men.
That's yeah.
I mean, I'm being paid for my husband. I mean, I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs, flicking the bean, just waiting.
Okay. My ladies that are in the comment section, can you make me understand how she would then get to the point of having, of being married, having a partner? Because I don't know. I'm just gonna say this. Any guy that's on his shit and that's like working on himself, business, career, most guys want to be low key. I mean, unless it's the goofy dude who wants to flaunt all his shit, big talker, that's one type of person. But like, for a guy that wants to be low key, how does his world and her world mesh? Because she likes to talk and she loves the attention. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like, where do you find balance? So by default, I think, and I think she said this before, of why she tends to date, the ball player, the athletes. I haven't seen her with any actors or anything, but shit, I don't know her whole background. She likes a certain caliber of men. And they predominantly are in that lane, you know what I mean? Of the mass appeal, all eyes on them. I remember seeing in one of the videos she posted, and I don't even know why these videos show up on my feed. It got to be DJ Academics and a couple more of these bloggers that I follow. She said her favorite team, I quote, she said her favorite team was the team that, the guy that she was messing around with is on. So whatever team that is, that's her favorite team at the time. Like, these are all things that she said. So I'm trying to figure out, if you're a guy and you're in the dating market and you own your shit, how would you take her seriously? That's my thing. I'm curious about that. With this being immediate turnoff, or would you respect that? For me, that is that's an automatic turn off. My life is private. I like to keep my life private. And typically, when I do interviews, podcasts, things of that nature, I don't talk about my dating life and my personal life. I want to keep my person protected at all times. I'm not that person that's into the gossip, that's into the mix. So from the jump, If I'm doing a podcast, I'm telling you what's off limits for me. I won't dive into it. Unless I'm doing it on my own podcast, but it would be the way I want to talk about it. I want to say it. You know, gotta control your own shit. But nah, I've never been fond of anybody I was dealing with, you know, being super talkative like that. That's why I kind of steered away from how should I say this rather? That's why I have been considered to be more picky, because I gotta have somebody with me that's low key for the most part. Like, they can be in the public eye, but low key. Like, we're not doing all the weird shit. Like, we got a situation, we're arguing, we're going at it with each other. That is not for the internet. I have never done that. I never will do that. I've never done that with any of my exes. I've never put anybody's business out and, you know, for the world to see and for them to be subjected to. I never put it in a memoir, a tell-all book. I'm not using names. I'm not using fake names. You know, I want to keep it respectful for anybody that I've ever crossed paths with. Like, you ain't got to worry about me talking about your business and shit. Like, that's just not how we moving. What's good? Hassan Powers, welcome to the live. It's not going to work out. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think you really have to change. She would really have to change her whole perspective of like dating and just like how she carries herself if she wants something like that to work, because obviously she's going for a very specific kind of guy, like within her dating pool. And I'll give her that. Like, she has access. She says she has more blue checks in her DM than Nike. Okay. Weird flex. I don't know how you leverage that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. There's no real value in that. You know what I mean? Because obviously guys are in your DM. What are they looking to do? You know what time it is. Or if it's one of these young guys, because this is what I'm seeing as well. Some of the chicks that are around my age that I seen, you know, influencers, we came up around the same time. Some of the younger dudes, some of these NBA players, they are starting to go after them now. So you'll see some of the chicks my age with the guy that's up and coming. He a rookie. He got that, but he's nice. He's a new prospect. He's gonna be the guy for the franchise. It's clout either way. It's clout for him. It's clout for her. You know what I mean? I'm just calling a spade a spade. Facts. No cap. Yeah, she was definitely jumping ships. But like I said, I'm not judging. Preston, what's good? What's the word? Where you chiming in from?
Not a real man, you know.
A real man.
Uh-oh. What's her definition of that?
Give me Brittany Renner's idea of if someone said,
hold on.
Draw your real man and then give me the attributes in which you want.
Hold on, let me play that back. Hold on.
So I don't know, probably when I moved out to LA, just being 22, 23.
And because Coach Prime, you know, Coach Prime was a former coach at Jackson State. He had you speaking to his guys, and you said that I've got more checks in my DM than Nike.
Mm-hmm.
So is that how it started? That's when you knew, like, damn, man, look at my inbox running over.
I mean, I think that was definitely a part of it. I think just being able to literally and figuratively skip the line and get paid to like stand in front of a movie poster and post it on your page. It was quick money. Like I don't know. It was the access. It was the money. It was the men. I mean, again, people like to judge.
You like men, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I like my love men.
That's
Yeah, I mean, I'm being patient for my husband. I mean, I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs, flicking the bean, just waiting on a real man, you know.
A real man.
It should be interesting.
Renner's idea of if if
I'm
someone
curious
said,
to know.
Draw your real man and then give me the attributes in which you want him to possess.
Okay, let me pull out the parchment.
Okay, let's see.
So, first things first, honest.
Okay.
He's honest. He's adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
He's affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
That's something not a lot of people are naturally. Mm-hmm. He is respectful. Mm-hmm. He is curious about the life around him, and he's committed to himself. I would say those are probably the core values that I'm seeking. Someone who is that believes in true love.
True love.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're looking for.
I'm still
storybook. I mean, if
how
true love
how
is
do
something
you
that
get
you've
that
read,
though?
or if it's something that you've experienced and you know what it's like.
I can't say that I've ever experienced it necessarily, just because I feel that I would be with that person, but it's always something that's been on my heart. And if it was put on my heart, it was for a reason. Mm-hmm. It's because it exists. Just like you're able to manifest the way that you are because it's put on there for you to materialize. Right. Same here. I think a lot of people think that it's not going to happen for me because of the way that I carry myself or different versions of me that they're stuck on, but it's on my heart for a reason. That's why I've had to experience the flip side of the coin, the darker side of the coin, where I've had a lot of heartbreak and disappointments, because how else would I appreciate true love when it comes to me? Because I've had everything come to me so easy, even with soccer. Right. I didn't have to practice. I was good. I'm good, great. I mean, that's just what it was. I didn't have to. That's what it was. So it's like when you don't know the value of anything because things come to you so naturally, because you're beautiful, because your body, the followers, the social media, the notoriety, you don't value shit. Right. So that's why I think for me.
So you didn't have an appreciation of anything?
No, because I could get whatever.
Hey, you know what? I respect the fact that she can come out and say that. I can respect that. She got to a point where, I mean, she mentioned this earlier in the interview. I kind of skipped over a couple parts, but she came from a point of being looked over to garnering all this attention, like this mass appeal from a lot of people in Hollywood. And I'm the first one to tell you, when it comes to the influencer space, if you're in the right place at the right time and you know how to capitalize on this shit, it can be very lucrative, you know? So I know there's some people that are like, oh, you know, she just effed her way to the top, blah, blah, blah. Okay, look, if she did, she did. But to be in all these places, you got to know how to move. So I'll give her this, because showing up to a movie premiere, I mean, I don't know how true it is as far as her getting paid to do it. I'm sure a brand would pay for placement to have her show up somewhere on behalf of the brand because she has eyes, she has attention. That was probably a quick 5 bands. She has millions of followers at this point, and she's getting all this attention now. I can only imagine what her brand deals looks like. Let's see what she let me see. I want to see how many followers she actually has. I'll pull it up on my phone, actually. I want to see how many followers she has, because her earning potential, it has to be going through the roof at this point. What's her shit? Is it Bundle of Britney? Okay, she has 4.8 million fucking followers. The amount of leverage she has is insane. I'm going to say that. People will pay for the type of retention she has, the type of following she has, and the fact that she can always find herself in the public eye somehow, some way. That is a skill set. That's what I'm saying. Like, as much and y'all might be mad at me for saying this, but I'm just saying I don't have a personal vendetta against her, and there's things to learn on both sides. Like, her body count, as far as the numbers, I don't care about that shit. Like, that it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not judging her based on that. You know? Does she have a big mouth? Absolutely. Does she kind of say a little too much? Will she potentially expose you if you deal with her? that's on the table. Like, that has been proven, But it seems that she's found her own lane to be able to bring in her. I mean, I'm sure she's been able to bring in her own income for some time now because she's been popping for a minute. Yeah, she already had a reputation even before. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me pull this comment up. Pull these comments up. This is why women run the world. A lot of men choose not to control their sexual urges by giving all these women validation. Oh, my God. Hey. Preston, you are talking that shit. Okay, look. I'm so happy you said that, because before, a man could just chalk it up and blame everything on the woman and say, you took advantage of me, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you got to understand, at the end of the day, it takes two to tango, and you were complicit as well. You cannot step away from the situation unscathed. Like, you can't play that victim card. That's one thing you cannot do. That is the issue that I see with a lot of the guys that she dealt with that tried to, I don't know, dog her out, talk shit. Like, bro, you slid in her DM at one point in time. You shot your shot. You was trying to see what type of time she was on. All right? And y'all did what y'all did. It went left. Maybe she tried to expose you out of spite. But, bro, you still dealt with her. No matter what. She already had a reputation even before she got into this. Yeah. No, that's facts. That's the thing about me, though. When I bring up topics like this, I think it makes a really good talking point. This is some really good dialogue, because I can always like break this shit down from not having to attack the person. Because, like I said, have I seen her out here in Hollywood? Yeah, I've seen her quite a few times. I don't know her personally. I know people that do know her, and like, she gonna do what she gonna do. And the guys that approach her, like, at this point, there's a lot of clips on the internet. There's a lot of shit on TikTok. She's doing interviews. So to act like you don't know what time it is, bro, that's on you. At this point, I'm not even mad at her. She telling you exactly what type of time she on, who she is, how she moves. I mean, obviously, she said she was a hopeless romantic at some point. I don't know if she did it in this interview, but she's done it in previous interviews. But person telling you exactly what's up, and you think is anything other than that, that is on you. Take responsibility for your shit. Own your shit. Yeah, I agree. Most influencers are like that. I noticed, very keenly, straight up, rich value. Yeah, man, look. This influencer game has changed so much. I hopped in this space in 2015, 2016, and I'll be the first one to admit, there was no rule book to how this shit was supposed to go, of like how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to act. So it's like, for some people, when they got all this attention, they just lost their shit, and they thought they ruled the world and they can do whatever they wanted to do. Primary example. I remember a time coming out here in 2018. This is prior to me living in LA. I don't know if I told the story before, but I was going to a Boohoo event, and there was a long line. This may have been at Beauty and Essex in Hollywood. Beautiful spot, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Right next to the Dream Hotel. And, we're all waiting in line to get in. But then you have these people, these influencers. And I'm not saying this about her, but you have these influencers pull up. They're hopping out of the cars, and they're going to the front of the line. And, this is an exclusive event. They have an issue waiting in line. They're like, yo, I got a million fucking followers. Why am I waiting in line? I shouldn't have to wait. And it's crazy that people put the number itself on a pedestal. What I'm really trying to say is that you still have to show up and be a real person at the end of the day. You should still show up and be respectful. It doesn't matter what type of attention you have, what brand deals you have, what talent agency you're signed to. You should still be respectful and Be a real person. Like, the influencer game is so fucked up now. Matter of fact, that's why I will say this. That's why I've even switched up my whole flow in my content. Like, the fashion stuff, that shit was cool. I still do the fashion content. I still do the food content. This is stuff that I enjoy. Like, I'm not a robot, and I only like the content that I put out. Yes, some of it is requested from you guys on Instagram, TikTok. I keep that rolling. But in order for this to be sustainable, I have to create content for me and my interests as well, which comes out organically, and where we can have dialogue like this and we can communicate with one another and just kick it. I'm just like, I had to switch it up, man. It was just so watered down. And everybody's doing the same shit. It bothers me because I can go on Instagram and TikTok and I can literally see, I can just scroll and see 30 pages doing the same shit. It's so bad. Now, I saw this video of this guy on Instagram. He made a reel talking about this guy copying his content. But he wasn't only copying his content. It was like, hold on, I'm gonna just bring this up. Okay. He was copying this man's like scripts word for word. And it was literally just an outfit like try-on haul. And my man is talking about, yo, this is how if you wear your pants like this, blah, blah, blah. The video that he's referencing, the guy is literally saying the same shit he's saying. And he tried to call him out on it, and then he blocked him. There are literally people out here copycatting down to a T. The originality and authenticity is out the fucking window. That shit is crazy to me. And I was like, okay. There has to be a time where, in your content creation career, or just in your career as a whole, when you have to evolve and try different things, You got to switch the game up a little bit. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to create some content that you can't duplicate. Like, you can't come on here and do what I do. Like, you have to stick to what works for you at the end of the day. You can take bits and pieces from what other people have going on, but you still have to be authentic. This shit's crazy. That was a little rant, my bad. Let me go through these comments real quick, though, because I'm loving this interaction, you feel me? Hey, yo, and if you're tuning in on YouTube, I forgot to say this. If you're tuning in on YouTube, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Give your boy some likes on Facebook as well. I appreciate it. We've been on this live for an hour and 18 minutes. Beautiful. Yep, can't be a hopeless romantic and share your cookies with too many people, crumbs in your jar. I couldn't have said it any better. I couldn't have said that shit any better. I know, she said that. Shout out to Faith. Hey, thank you. Thank you for tuning in and supporting this. Cause like I don't do this shit without you guys. And I tell you what, I enjoy doing this so much and I enjoy the podcast so much. I would show up. Like, people don't have to show up. And I would still get on here and do this because I just really enjoy this. And I never knew I was going to enjoy this much. But I took a chance and just tried some different shit. And now I'm like, man, thank God I got this camera. Thank God I can use it for my webcam. You know? The hue light in the back, I had this hue light for like 2 years. It was collecting dust. Nope. That motherfucker getting put to work right now. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. Those people definitely exist. Yeah. A lot of men are responsible for making these OnlyFans models rich. Oh my God. Man, that could be a whole stream. That could be a whole stream by itself. Men need to realize that there's power in having morals, discipline, and self-control, and Brittany is just enjoying the attention. And that is my point as to why I'm not mad at her. Because if you gonna throw her an alley-oop off the backboard, how could you expect her not to dunk the shit? You make it so easy. You put money in her pocket. Look, I don't respect the OnlyFans game. I'm old school. That ain't really my thing. Yeah. I don't know how these guys out here. I mean, look, guys, there's a lot of guys that don't have self-respect either. They don't value themselves either. Like, I know it's been talked about with women, like we're just focusing in on them, but nah, there's some goofies out here too. Like they'll take anything. I don't understand that shit. Like I don't understand. I mean, from a sexual standpoint, I get that, but that's the dream that's being sold. That's what's being hustled. You know? I just don't know how a guy can realistically look at this chick that is, and I'm not talking about Brittany Renner, I'm just speaking hypothetically. Look at a woman that's on OnlyFans and be like, I want her. I want to wife her. I want to show her off to the world. I don't understand it. But it ain't for me to understand, you know? I copy your model and style and it's working. Hey, no, look. That's all love. I have no problem with that. I'm just saying the people that copy your shit from top to bottom, and the situation I was just talking about, my man's didn't pay homage. And I'm not saying nobody owes me anything as far as be like, hey, Donnie, I did this because of you. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you can scroll and you can see everybody doing the same shit, same style videos, down to a T, same scripts. Hold on, my bad. My bad.
So going through some of the stuff I went through the last couple of years, I've really got to see what I've made of.
When you were at Jackson State, were you in a sorority?
No, my grades weren't good enough.
I'm gonna get back to these comments in a second. Hold on.
Britt, so you were just at college kicking it.
I mean, I wouldn't even say. Well, I was shacked up. I was playing like house.
You were shacking in college?
Mm-hmm.
Why you say it like that?
Where that is. House eight. Mm-hmm.
This man Shannon a fucking fool, yo. I love Shannon Sharpe.
When that happened. And what was she gonna do? Nothing.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. She's gonna be disappointed because she's gonna say, Brittany, I raised you better than that, or at least I thought I did.
Honestly, never mind.
No, go ahead. No.
All right, let me skip ahead.
Luxury of being able to be scornful and to lash out or to retaliate. Dancers, yeah.
Let me see.
So you love what you love what you love.
Wow.
But it's a high bar to hurdle if she makes things
like by your guys' rules.
Let me see.
My way.
You do things your way.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, it varies hour to hour. I didn't know who I was going to be when I came into this area.
What the fuck does that even mean? What?
Absolutely. I'm at peace with it. There's nothing I could have done differently. I'm not.
Oh, there's a lot you could have done differently. Stop saying that there's nothing you could have done differently. Stop it.
This is the way I was meant to do it.
No, I don't believe that.
I don't question fate. I accept my fate. I accept my destiny. So if that means that it takes me 10 years for my Mr. Wonderful to come, then that's fine. I'm patient.
Nothing. You wouldn't change a thing about the way it's transpired.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time believing that. I do have a hard time believing that. Not anything. Not one thing. I know she's taking the high road and she's really trying to own everything down to the core, but I just have a hard time believing that she wouldn't change anything. Like, I'm a person that can say, I mean, I would like to say I absolutely live with no regrets, but there are a couple things there are a couple things that could have been different. Business relationships. I don't have any real regrets, but there's some things I could have went differently for sure in my life. But I don't know. It just seems to me that she has one foot in, one foot out, and she kind of flip-flops when it's convenient. But that could just be me. What's your take on it? Let me know, chat.
Because here's the thing about regret. If I regret things that happened, then that means I have to erase the awareness that I gained. And I would not trade this awareness. I would not trade going back to when I was 20, 18 years old. I would not trade a clean slate for the wisdom that I have. I have a well of wisdom. That's why when I speak, people are captivated. Why I've been called to so many different platforms. Who's the last couple guests you've had on here?
Stephen A, D Wade, Tabitha Brown.
Okay, what point? What point is she alluding to right now?
Ocho Cinco.
I saw Chris Brown.
We had Ricky Smiley.
Okay, what's one thing you think they all have in common? They're great at what they do.
Yes. You great.
So where do I fit in?
You great at what
I'm just supposed to be some Instagram stuff, and here I am talking to Shannon Sharpe.
So
hey, look. Yo. Damn it. She got a point. She has a point. She has a point. Man, I didn't want to give her that. I didn't want to give her that one. She got a point. That's what's so interesting about this shit. The last couple of guests that Shannon Sharpe has brought on, they all have some type of, they all have a profession. They all have a skill that they've mastered that we know them for. Chris Brown, music, dancing, D Wade, NBA champion, Hall of Famer, Ocho Cinco, fucking monster on the field. The Tabitha chick, I'm not sure. I didn't watch that one, but I would imagine she has to be a powerhouse or she has to be a notable name for Shannon Sharpe to bring her on. Now, this shit's killing me right now. All right, here we go. She has the ability to garner so much attention. Like, she makes herself undeniable. That's a skill set in itself. That is what I'm going to give her. And to be fair, she is really good on camera. I will give her that. Where even if you don't like her, I don't have a problem with her. But for a person that's watching and they don't like her, they're going to continue to watch this interview for the shock factor. They are waiting for her to say some wild shit. They want to be able to take that clip and post it somewhere, repurpose it, and dog her out. Either way, she wins because she's on the show with Shannon Sharpe, and she has leverage. And this just gave her more leverage at the end of the day, you know? And then for the fellas out here, if you going to keep simping, I mean, look, they going to keep winning. So shit, I wish I had a little drink over here because I would go ahead and toast to that. Because finessing is a skill, and she got it. Let me go to some of the comments. When you started getting famous, just curious, were there a lot of women that approached you in public? Yeah. I don't talk about this a lot because, I mean, for one, I'm out the game. I'm out the game. And for two, I don't know. Like, I guess this setting and the podcast gives me a chance to really talk about this stuff. When I first got famous, like, my life instantly changed. I'm talking, let me see. If there's anybody in here from Grand Rapids, you know what I'm talking about. Exactly. I would go to the Applebee's in Wyoming on 28th Street. That was the thing me and my homies would always do. And it came a time when like I started to go viral, and going there, I'm not gonna say it was an issue, but going there just changed instantly from people coming up to me, like chicks I had never met, like wanting hugs and shit. And I'm like, you want a hug from me? Like, why? It was so crazy. At any given time, I would be approached. It was some people, some women sliding in my DM. I'm not gonna out them. I won't do that. But it was some heavy names in there. It just kind of blew my mind. And I know what she means when she's talking about access and opportunities just being at your fingertips, because a lot of opportunities that came my way just blew my fucking mind. Like, if you saw my Instagram story the other day, I was doing a little recap of like past work, clients I worked for, magazines I've been in, photo shoots, meet and greets, all that type of stuff. Just because if you're new to the channel, if you're new to my page, if you're new to me, maybe you don't know what I do, or maybe you've never seen my track record. I touch bases on that just to kind of bring you back to the beginning of how all this shit started. And I just remember how crazy that shit was. Oh shit. Okay. On my podcast, if you have not subscribed to the channel, and if you have not watched episode 1 and episode 2, it is on the YouTube channel right now. Check that out. Episode just dropped yesterday with my boy Isaac Ramirez, firefighter. This man is the real life Bruce Wayne. It's my dog, and he is one hell of a content creator. Definitely check that out. But I am going to do a special episode where I bring my boys on from London. And like, that deserves its own episode, because I've had so much fun in the UK. And I have to take it back to that moment, my very first time to the UK. I have footage of this. And just to give you guys a little teaser, my first time to the UK, I got booked to do a meet and greet. It was in central London. Shout out to my guy Steven from Stylish Nights. I'm not sure if he's still a promoter out there, but yo, he brought me out, and I could not fucking believe the amount of love that I received from London. Man, people showed up. They showed up. It was epic. They made me feel like a superstar, and I am not putting myself on a pedestal whatsoever. I pulled up. The cameras are flashing. The cameras are in my face. The club venue was packed. It was women screaming and shit, pulling at me. Wanted to take pictures, want to get, hugs. I hop on a mic for a second. I'm taking pictures in the booth. My whole booth is surrounded with women. You know what I mean? And that blew my mind at that time. I could not believe it. I still can't believe that happened. I was literally getting paid 2, 3, sometimes 4 bands. I think I got paid 4 bands for that one, if I can remember correctly. Paid me 4 bands, flew me to London, put me up in a hotel, took me around the city. I'm go to the mall, I'm taking pictures, like, hey, Donnie, blah, blah, blah. It's a surreal moment. That's the shit that I appreciate the most out of this entire journey. It's not, don't get me wrong, the brand deals are great. The connections, they're great. But when somebody that you don't know walks up to you like, hey, I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. You inspired me to get on social media. You inspired me to start, modeling. Like, that's the shit that matters to me. I'm just saying. But, I've done a lot. I've been fortunate enough to, to be in this position.
You gotta listen to me!
So you great at what you do?
Oh, shit.
I certainly am. Because there's a lot of beautiful women. There's a lot of beautiful women that have better bodies than me, prettier faces, whatever type of features you think are attractive. But then you have little petite old me, who just
she rolling with the punches.
And here I am on Club Shake Shake, Club Shake Shake, Club Shake Shake. Woo!
Yeah, she got some regrets.
Dion
Believe
said,
that.
well, I don't know, like I said, but it was reported he said that there are women out there that do their homework.
Thank you.
On guys.
Thank you.
I mean, because now the salaries are, and you know, you can just Google.
You can Google stuff, yeah.
And you can just, and, oh, he makes this, and he has the endorsement over there, and he does this and that.
Especially with NILs now too.
Right. Huh? You know about that?
Mm-hmm.
Is she getting NIL deals?
Public record.
Oh, it's public record, huh?
Public knowledge. Because I mean, these college athletes are getting money. Why are they driving Maybachs? That's an NIL, baby.
Yeah.
Come on now.
She know too much. Hey, she know too much. Hey. This shit is hilarious. Talk about doing your homework. She's on her A game. So look, she has a whole recruiting system. She knows about these college athletes getting NIL deals. Now I'm seeing some of these college athletes rack up $2 million, $3 million. All right, so she counting your pockets and she coming for you. She letting it be known. She just kind of threw that out there. Whoever up next, I don't know if it's going to be a player from Kentucky. I don't know if it's going to be a player from... Hey, buddy, come here. Well, come here. Lele, come here. No? Come here. You want to come here? Ah, you stay over there. Talking to my pup. But she knows what time it is, yo. She is pocket watching. Got this down to a science. If you fall for it, look, man. If you're an athlete and you just so happen to tune into this episode and you still go out there and shoot your shot, and then some shit happens and you act like a fucking victim, I don't know what to tell you. You deserved it.
Could you date a normal?
She know too
date
much.
A guy that's not a professional athlete or that's not an athlete?
Oh, this is.
I don't even see myself dating an athlete again.
Really? Why?
Well, because something you said earlier.
I don't know what I said earlier. I don't have a recall like you that can remember everything that happened in their life.
Because there's a lot of men who are not willing to make that jump, and when there are things that are public, a public figure has to take into account what is the risk versus reward with dating this girl and having her on my arm, having her at the ESPYs. There's a lot of men that would not sign up for that, and I feel the type of men that maybe there's a good chance it's like kind of opposite things. It's like either someone super young that's new and doesn't care, or someone who's already established doesn't give a and do what they want to do.
She got some
either
game.
One, it's just kind of like, eh.
Right.
I really don't see myself with another athlete. I'm not gonna say never, never say never, because I don't want the love of my life to be a freaking athlete. And I gotta eat these words, but I just don't see it. I don't see a man having the courage to.
I don't think that's courage.
A risk with me. Because that's what love is.
What's the risk?
Well, in love, it's a 50-50 risk. It's every person across the board. But I think that I am very vocal. I also have not
that's one of the risks.
Many men that, number one, see my value, and if they see it, they don't understand it. So that's why I don't really see.
In other words, a man can't look outside of what he sees right here and what he
Well,
heard.
this is gonna fade. So what else? So
right.
what makes me different than the girl that is the build a down the who's willing to do whatever and let you cheat in private, or I'm sorry, in private, let you cheat in private and do whatever. Like, beauty is fleeting. That's why there has to be more going on.
Right.
That's why I open my mouth and I speak and I stand for something, because this is, again, I'm always going to be beautiful because I'm beautiful in here, but yeah, we all get older, and I don't want to bank on my looks. Why would anybody want to do that?
But I think now, if someone, it's hard for me to imagine a scenario, and I do hope you find, I think everybody deserves that if they're wanting that, and it seems to me, as I sit here and talk to you, that you are someone that's very passionate about finding love. And I think the thing is that person knows who you are. They know some of the things that you've done. So that person that wants to be with Brittany Renner, they're gonna know what she's done. And
Zion was getting that check.
Do you think it's hard for that? Is it hard for an athlete? Because athletes are very prideful, and and don't take this the wrong way, but they kind of like, that's mine, and to know that package has been unwrapped by somebody else on multiple occasions, it doesn't sit well. But I'm gonna keep it one. You say keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Keep it 100, Shannon.
Back to when there was the Derek Jeter diamond. That's
we
what
can't.
my track record's like. But
No. We can't. Okay. It's like I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out because there'll be some things that she says that I absolutely agree with, but then she loses me when she mentions Derek Jeter because you can't put yourself in the same conversation with Derek Jeter because now we're talking about somebody and I'm not applauding him for the women that he messed around with or his dating track record. It's just a simple fact that he was so good at baseball. And to be fair, you know what I mean? He was a good-looking guy. So he was a star player. He was a fucking franchise player. He garnered a ton of attention, endorsements, sports deals, brand deals, the whole nine. Like, he was the top of the top. By default, he's going to have this certain amount of juice. He's going to have the pickings. He can select whoever he wants to. Hey, I want you. Let's do this. That's how he can deal with a J-Lo and, so on and so forth. I just don't know how she can compare her situation to his situation. Because I'm not taking away the fact that she has all this attention and she has these eyes, you know what I mean? She's an influencer. She's a big influencer. But it's more or less, what are you known for specifically, And then when you Google her, it's not like, Brittany Renner, owner of such and such, Brittany Renner, actress, or it's geared towards these conversation and these topics, and they're talking about her track record, and I don't think it's sustainable to lead with that. Like, I want her to turn this into something else. Like, I hope she can switch it up, turn this into a business, and leave that shit behind her. I'm not hoping and praying and wishing on her downfall by any means. But you can't put yourself in the same fucking conversation as Derek Jeter. That's just not it.
On ESPN, where they have his dating history in the let me finish though.
No, I ain't saying nothing.
You was thinking it.
You
were thinking it.
That's my dog.
So, because my dating pool is, my
expansive.
God, impressive, expansive. I've had sex with 35 guys. Okay.
Hold on. I was waiting on this. I was waiting on it.
Lord.
Hey.
Impressive.
Shannon.
Woo.
The word. So if I'm judged for
Anybody else need a shot of
if I'm judged for having great taste.
We are in the bar, so
what does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? All right, look. Hold up. Veronica, you just made this comment and then she just said what she said. What does it mean to say that she has good taste? What does that mean and what do you get out of that? That's what I don't understand. I've been trying to figure this shit out this whole time. This is crazy. What's going to be our next victim? Shannon over there, he playing like he want to be 36. I don't know. That's why I said it's her number in her lifespan or in a week or a year. That's a very good question. Yeah, you said Shannon lusting her. All right. Answer this. Do y'all think Shannon shot his shot after that interview? Be 100. I'm going to go ahead and say yeah, because it's like, at the end of the day, what I said before, 35, 36, I don't know if that's a thing in his world. He could have just been reacting like that for the sake of, like, the shock factor in the views. Because, like, but it was very organic at the same time. So maybe he does look at that as a complete negative. But I don't know. This shit just got crazy.
Woo. If I'm judged for having great taste, although someone like Derek Jeter, for example, who had his dating diamond.
Why would you?
Why are we?
Need that you can be honest to yourself. I know how many men I slept with. That ain't for everybody else. But why did you feel you need? Why did you feel that needs to be for public consumption? That's I mean the crux of this. That's what you mind if I sit to the edge of my seat?
You don't gotta ask for permission.
Why would you feel the need to share that information with the public? Some things are left best unsaid.
That's what I hear. Probably the same reason that I wrote a book, because I felt called to share. There are some things that maybe moving forward I would keep to myself, but I mean,
look. And for me, as a man, like I said, I am happily out of the game, but I just would imagine that any guy watching this video, I would hope they would think the same thing. Like, the risk to reward of dealing with her, like, I don't know, that's just too risky. It should be risky for most. You got some guys out there, they like danger. They like chaos. They like turmoil. They like all those good things. Now, if you know she has written a book, you've seen the press come out about the book, you've seen her press run, you've seen her talk about the book and reference it, all those good things. I'm interested to know how many copies she sold, but that's not the point. If you know she put a book out about some of her sexcapades and her past relationships, giving people different names, obviously, but I think she made references to clear the air on who some of these people were. And I just don't know how you move forward and you take a chance with that, you know? It seems kind of crazy. But like I said, some guys like chaos. To each his own. You said after, he's shooting his shot during, but yeah, definitely after. Like, so, like, hey, like, look, man, I know you said 35, you know, but any chance you see 36 right in front of you? That should make sense to me. Brittany said to Shannon, hey, daddy, you trying to fuck me? Hey, Preston. If she said that on the spot, they would probably have to go off the air. I ain't even gonna lie to you. My man Shannon would probably crumble in his seat. You are absolutely right. No, she's dead. No. Derek Jeter, no. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not putting his situation on the pedestal, but we're talking about comparing apples to oranges. This is not the same ball game. That's facts.
I mean, I just told you I had sex with 35 guys. That's an updated number for people who have been following the number for years now. So
now, I mean, obviously, guys slide in your DM, trying to holler. Do you slide in guys' DM?
Not anymore.
Okay. You used to?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There were probably 2 or 3 guys over the span of being like 22 to now.
Right.
Probably about 3 guys.
I don't believe that.
Respond?
I don't believe that.
Of course they did. Well, there are some that didn't respond, but that was.
They left you on red?
There are some guys left me on red, but it was like right after my breakup with my child's father, and I was kind of being facetious. Yeah, that wasn't nice.
You try to be see you. Why you do that?
Yeah.
Why you did? No. Ain't no anyway. I want to know why. Why would you do
I'm
that?
like, well, shit, I'm ready to move on.
No, but
No, honestly, I didn't understand the magnitude of what I was about to go through, and I'm like, oh, I'm single, you know, he's moved on. Like, why is it different for both of us? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, because it's like, what about all the videos you put out, like, ousting these guys and like posting the pictures, you know, at the Kentucky basketball game, and sitting in the stands talking about you trying to steal somebody's son and shit. Like, what about that? And all the rants in the cars talking about dating guys and you looking for, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd be so confused. I'm so confused. Hey, at the beginning of this video in this stream, I said Shannon over here acting like Montel. He acting like Montel right now. Way too invested. It baffles me. Lil Uzi, Kaepernick, Chris Brown. Yeah. That's my point. This is the point I've been making this whole time. Like, it's a two-way street. If you're Chris Brown, like, I mean, unless you didn't know who she was prior, unless you didn't do any recon, any of that. If you're Chris Brown, you know what you're getting into. On the flip side, if you're Brittany Renner, you should know what you're getting into. Hold on. Keep getting calls and shit in the middle of my stream. I can tell Shannon was a piece. That's facts. A piece. Shannon trying to see what's up with the what's up. I'm gonna go ahead to say that. He trying to see what's up with the what's up.
Child.
Right.
So why is me having a young child or whatever? But that whole situation being completely demonized. I had no idea what I was doing when I was trying to, like, here and there. Just, like, telling guys they were just fine. That was just kind of it. It wasn't like, yeah, we should, whatever. It was just like, I've always wanted to tell you this. I think.
But like basketball players are off limits, right? NBA players, any NBA players off limits.
Right.
No, you can't do that. You try to
the whole sport.
The whole sport, the whole NBA.
The whole sport.
You got to go to Europe. You got to go to Europe.
Better go learn Chinese, buddy. Hell no.
You know that's going, man, how that's, Brent, you know what that's going to do.
What do you mean?
Cause.
A whole sport?
Yes. And besides, you say you done with athletes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Shannon. What was that?
Losing any sleep over it.
What was that?
Because no, you got to stay away from them. Because it's gonna be, because people assume, and this might not even be the case. You might sincerely love him. He might sincerely love you. Yeah. But you know how it's gonna be portrayed. Oh, she's trying to get back at it. And he probably will take it as if you trying to get at me.
What I've had to take accountability for is that I had to shrink myself to fit into a world of his that I was never meant to fit in. And you have to understand, this goes back to the pattern of when I was at Jackson State. Okay. I abandoned everything, left my whole life, moved across the country, going back to Michigan. I lived in Woodland Hills, had my condo, had my Benz. Left California, moved to Charlotte to be with him. The same pattern 10 years later. Because again, here I am thinking that a man is gonna fix it. This is the missing piece to my puzzle. So despite what people think about the complete buffoonery that has gone on between him and I, that is never anything I wanted. I had to stand up for myself after months of being lied on, that I was faking it all along and all these different things. This is such a popular topic years later because the lie ran around the world. So did it hurt initially when the guy that I thought was my guy proposes to the next person? Absolutely. That's happened to me a couple times. So it's one of those triggering things where, full transparency, you're like, well, what's wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? And then we start to internalize why it didn't work out. I've sat down with his fiance. We've had a 4-hour conversation out for brunch.
About
and
what?
I think they're a perfect match for each other, quite frankly. So why would I be jealous or envious of a life that I walked away from. But the other side of that coin is
Hey, look. Hold on. The way Shannon is sitting right now, he is so in tune with this. He is so invested in this. It's hilarious. This is hilarious. Let me read some of these comments real quick, yo. I've been glancing at them, and y'all cracking me up. Shannon wants her to transfer to the NFL. That could be true. Shannon is telling on himself. That is facts, yo. See, I told y'all. She has something to prove. Yeah, and it's just... It's the thing, yo. She could really just chill out, man. She created a wave for herself. She could keep riding her wave. You don't have anything to prove. You do not have anything to prove. Hey, keep running up them brand deals. Like, I don't know if she has a podcast, but she needs to create her own podcast because her shit would go through the roof. I'm just saying what it is. I gotta call a spade a spade. I know she's hopping on, platforms and she's talking her shit, but at this point in time, she can really just create her own wave and run that shit up to the moon and be good, Then they could cross promote. Damn. And it's the thing, like, I would even be down to do an episode because I like having the dialogue. I don't take myself too seriously, and some shit like this, I wouldn't take seriously anyway. But I would be down to talk about it because it's interesting, Just because I'm trying to understand her thought process of like how that shit works. It's fascinating to me because in my eyes, it seems like hustling backwards and just causing unnecessary friction and moving towards chaos. Like you're searching for chaos. That's what it looks like to me. But who the fuck am I? I could be totally wrong. Maybe she sees some shit that I don't see. I don't know. But the shit's hilarious. It's crazy. No, yeah, somebody, and that's what it typically stems from, It's like when you get jaded, you have a bad heartbreak, or you have some consecutive heartbreaks in a row. You become jaded. You become, what's the word I'm looking for? Ornery. And you want to lash out, and you want to feel love. Like, shit, hurt people, right? I'm totally in tune with that and I understand it. But like going on this press run, talking your shit and talking about how many bodies you got is fucking crazy. I just never would have seen this shit coming. Shannon looked like he is listening to a huddle right now. Let me blow this up. My man is in the middle of a huddle. He getting the play from his quarterback, and he is in tune. This man is focused. I don't know if I've ever seen him this focused before. I get it. I get it.
Understanding that was never my guy. We were meant to have our incredible son together. He's literally changed my life in every way. I grew deeper empathy after having a son for men. But that's why I can't get upset. I get upset at how I'm treated.
How you're portrayed.
You lied on me. That's what bothers me, is that you lied on me. You try to make it seem like something it wasn't. That was hurtful. But other than that,
crazy.
I'm happy for you. Blessings on your journey.
I heard you just say that what he said.
Damn, we coming up on the 2-hour mark, yo. We've been going in for 2 hours straight, and some of y'all been on here for 2 hours.
Have you
That's
thought about
crazy.
when your son
I love y'all for that.
and he can hear some of the things that you said about some of the things that you've done in your past? Have you thought about how that's gonna impact him?
Of course I've thought about it. But as much as I love my son, I love myself. I can't saturate myself for my child. I have to still be true to.
What the fuck does that mean? Could somebody tell me what does that mean? What does that mean? Where is the sense of awareness? Because you can't just think about yourself. You do have a kid at the end of the day. Don't save her. She don't want to be. Exactly, man. She don't want to be saved. So this kind of brings me to something that I've been seeing a lot lately. People will get themselves in sticky situations. Or no, you know what? Nah, fuck it. I was gonna make it lighthearted. I'm gonna say it. I've been seeing this initiative as of lately, and people have been coming out saying protect women, right? And I'm all for that. But it's hard to protect somebody from the likes of things that are self-inflicted. When you go out of your way to get into shit like this, it is self-inflicted. Who can save you? Nobody can save you from that. You got yourself in the mess and you have to navigate and get yourself out of it. That's the only way to do it. There's nothing. Look, if Shannon wanted to save her right now, there's nothing he could tell her because her mind is already made up with the way that she thinks, the way that she moves. And it's going to be what it's going to be. You know, when a person's mind is made up, there's no recourse. So I'm trying to figure out, how do you piece this all together? How do you say that? I mean, I know there are women out here that really can be saved, that really should be saved. But I'm having a hard time believing she is one of those, because it's kind of like you put yourself up for a dummy mission, you know? So you got to take everything that comes with that. Is that not it? Please tell me if I'm wrong. I do not have all the answers, but please tell me if I'm wrong. Crazy. I had to spin this motherfucker around. Because I've been trying to get some understanding. The amount of cap that has been in this interview is insane. I might go grab another hat and just stack it on top of this one, just because the level of cap is through the fucking roof. No, seriously. Nah, y'all been on here spitting. I'm gonna watch a little more of this interview, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. I think I'm gonna go to Instagram and go live for like 20-30 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna move on with my day. You know, gotta hit the gym, and I gotta get some stuff situated for next week. We got episode 3 of the Camp Savage Show dropping next week. We have my good friend, the beautiful Portuguese comedian. She is gonna be a superstar. My homie Nasia. She's up and coming. She's funny as shit, yo. I appreciate her for coming on. And doing the show. Episode 2 is out right now. Came out yesterday. My boy Isaac Ramirez. I just want to plug that in. If you have not checked it out, please do so. It was a fire interview, and I'll probably have him on again. Yeah. I'm actually supposed to see him again in about a week and a half. We're going to New York for the Thursday Boots influencer trip. I'm going to try to bring some of my equipment so I can do a live stream, or I can at least give y'all some BTS of like a special podcast episode. You know what I mean? I want to be able to utilize where we'll be, because we'll be upstate New York. beautiful up there. I've never been. The forest, I'm gonna feel like a lumberjack out there. Bringing the flannels, bringing the boots. We're gonna get some fire content. That's the thing. I appreciate the influencer weekends every single year because there's always a chance to meet some new people that I haven't met that work with the company. And we always get some fire content no matter what. This year is going to be a little different because we're not staying in Manhattan where we typically are, because we would hit the bar. Was it the bar? No. We would shoot content from like 9 to 3, go to lunch, then go to dinner, and then go out, come back 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and do this shit all over again. But we were like workhorses. And I will say, this is the perfect time this year to switch it up because I just don't know if I have it in me to stay out till 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm an OG now, you know. Love you for sure. I just created my Instagram earlier. I'm gonna hit that. Shoot me a DM. No, you good. You good with the typo. I understand what you're saying. I do want to do a meet and greet. I definitely want to do a meet and greet. I'm just trying to figure out how to put this together. Ideally, I would want to do one in LA just because a lot of my resources are out here. And I could probably do a cocktail hour or something, or potentially partner with one of the spaces and bring an alcohol sponsorship or something, restaurant. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Oh yeah. Merch. Merch is coming a lot sooner than I thought. All right. I have a meeting coming up this week. I'm bringing on a team to get everything situated. I know I mentioned this in the beginning of the stream, but I'll just give you a first take on what I'm working on. All right. So as you know, we got these live streams every weekend now. We got the podcast. We got the merch coming. And maybe second or third quarter of next year, we got a gaming channel coming. All right. So I want to put this out there. I love to game. I just haven't found time to do it like in my busy schedule, you know. But it's something that I really enjoy doing. And what I'll do is I can stream, or I can do pre-recorded videos of like walkthroughs and shit of myself actually playing. I would more like I would rather stream and just sit there and kick it and talk to you guys while I'm playing, because like I can do both. I don't have to be the fucking best at it, but I do have to get a new console. I gotta get me a PS5, and I gotta get Hitman. I gotta get Assassin's Creed, the new joint. I gotta get the Spider-Man joint. I really like the single player games, but I'll definitely get some multiplayer joints. So I don't know if any of you guys game at all, but I'm down to go on Twitch and bring that whole gaming aspect to the live streams, you know? Something different. Switch it up, you know? No, I'm excited too. And thank you. I just DM'd you. That's a bet. I'm gonna check it. On request. I'm checking right now. I don't know where this shit will pop up at though. Let me see. Where did you send the DM? I'm gonna go through and check. But yo, matter of fact, I need to actually go live on Instagram. I would say I was cutting this short, but it's not short. We've been on here for 2 hours and 10 minutes, you know. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. We know I'm running this back tomorrow. And I think I'm going to bring the boys with me. I'm going to bring my day ones on here. And we can rock out and have fun. Bring a little smoke. Do some reactions. And we can keep this shit rolling. You know the vibe. Like I said, episode 2 of the Kim Savage Show out now. Episode 3 is dropping next Friday, 7 p.m. EST. My homegirl Nasia, hell of a comedian. Stay on the lookout for that. And I'm going to keep you guys on point. I'm gonna let you know what's up with the pod and moving forward in the merch. All right. And like I said, when it comes to the merch, when I get my designs and I start putting them together, I think I'm gonna bring the designs on my live, and we can pick these shits out together. You know, I want you guys involved in the process of what I choose. Cause this is one thing about me. If I'm gonna come out with merch, I'm not just coming out with it just to sell it and just be like, all right, you know what I mean? I made some money. No, fuck that. I want to be entirely hands-on with this. I'm gonna be rocking my shit all the time. I'm cutting back with brand placement and sponsorships for the most part. Like, I do want to bring one on for the podcast, and there are a couple brands that I straight up rock with, like they're family. But I'm getting more selective, especially when it comes down to fashion. Like Godspeed, that's family. Those are the homies. But when it comes down to my live streams and my podcast, when my merch drop, I'm only rocking my own shit. And when you see me in photo shoots, you see me doing press, I'm rocking my own shit. For the first time, I can say I'm entirely banking on myself and my brand. And that's how crazy, that's how obsessed you have to be when it comes down to your dream. You got to be obsessed with this shit. You have to believe in it wholeheartedly. And even if it don't work, you got to try. Like, I'm not afraid to fail. That's the thing. So I just want to leave you guys with that. And again, thank you for tuning in to the live stream. If you haven't liked this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm out this joint. All right.